Hi everyone, my name is Regina Olakunle and you're live on Regina Olakunle TV. The program today is personality profile. You know, I always bring important personalities to your viewing pleasure. And today, I have a very important one. And when I say important, I mean important because this person is really, really very important. And it's a privilege to be able to interview somebody like him. So I have the privilege to bring to your homes, wherever you're watching from, someone that is very important, but I would be able to mention its name. I would tell you who it is when I come back from this break. Do not go away. Hello, Patricia's blog. How may I help you?
Atinuke, her best friend, is sleeping with her husband.
Be careful.
And nobody messes with me.
She wants to destroy my reputation.
I mean, come off it. She did not even mention your name.
That stupid girl had been shot.
I swear, I'm gonna make her up big time.
Who did you offend?
Nobody.
I'm gonna let you know who you offended. Now get up!
You seem so nice.
I am a nice person, depending on the business that connects us. Well, I have Mr. Fatai Atere MON. Sir, can you introduce yourself?
My name, as you said, is Fatai Atere MON. And like you all know, I played for the 1985 World Cup in China. The first ever World Cup that came to the country. And we thank God for life and thankful for everything. And thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You see, he's really important. It's very, very important to have him. You might be wondering, where has he been? You know, seeing him like this, to some people, they'll be like, Fatai Atere, who is that Fatai Atere? Is it the same person that has the same road when you go towards Oshodi, like you're going towards Mushi, you know? Is it that same Fatai Atere? You're right. That's the same person that I have seated with me in the United States of America. And today, he's going to tell us what he's been doing. What has been happening to him, if he can still play football like he used to. I'm sure the weight is there, but you know, never underestimate anyone. So, Mr. Fatai Atere, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
I see you're fine. You are doing great, right?
By the grace of God.
Good. So, since 1985, you were one of the, part of the Golden Eaglet, right? That brought the trophy to Nigeria.
Exactly.
Yes. So I see a lot of trophies around. You know, when you walk into a place like this, you see some trophies and you're like, wow, this is wonderful, right? So how was it then? How did it all start for you?
Well, I will give every glory to God, because without God, you are nobody. So I thank God for everything. And I can remember back in the days when we used to play Greater Tomorrow and we used to play pick-up games and everything. Actually, I was playing for Igbo, and somebody walked into my house and said, oh, they want you to come and play for Youth Fund. And I'm like, Youth Fund? How did they even know about me? But that's where God started the glory from. So I played against Youth Fund. I played for Youth Fund against them, the Junior Eagles, you know, and I was recognized. So I started traveling with the youth fund. So we won them World Series of Soccer in '84 in USA. That was my first outing of Nigeria. So when we came back, we were all put in Junior Eagles. So after playing for Junior Eagles for a while, and my father is very big on education. My father was like, you know what? If you stay in that camp and you don't go anywhere, and you fail your exams, you know what I'm going to do to you. So, being fearful of that, I have to leave the school and the camp. So I went back to school, and then that was when I was in HSC. So after that, there was under 17 World Cup coming up, which Nigeria qualified already. So they was able to call me. Say, there's this small boy that knows how to play. Let's give him a call. And to God be the glory. Nobody believed we were going to win the World Cup, but we did.
Wow.
Believe it or not. When we live in the country, nobody even know when we live in the country.
Wow.
It was like a magic. And I remember when we were in the final, Christian Shuku, the then assistant coach, everybody know Christian Shuku, the chairman Christian Shuku of Green Eagles. So he was the assistant coach back then. So he said, you know what? The way you play today is the way we can capture the World Cup. And I'm like, wow, I never knew I was that important. And guess what? I played on my best. And we won the World Cup.
Wow.
To God be the glory. I give glory to God. And that's how everything started. And then from there I went to Tottenham Hotspur in England. The Nigerian declared clearance because they were like, you are all government property. You can't stand outside the country. Wow. So I moved on. So I left London and came to America. So being in America now, I went for studies, schools. I played for Howard University. So from there, things did not even go well because my name is very popular. It's when you played in the World Cup, you can't play for school games anymore. Wow. So it was like, I'm on my own now. So I have to go study and make sure I put my family in a good situation, you know what I'm saying? So after finishing the Howard University, I'm not a Metro police officer. I work for RCF in the Metro. So this and God has been good to me. So I'm here, and thanks for talking to me.
Wow, we are not done yet. Like when I listen to your story and I begin to wonder, like why would Nigeria say, oh, they can't give you clearance? Is this supposed to be like the normal thing back then?
Yeah, it was like to them, to Nigeria, they were like we're government property. They were like they want to keep us and groom us to the stage of Junior Eagles and go to the national team. I think that's what they were looking at. But at the same time, there's no fund. There's no money. Everything they promised us, they didn't even give. Apart from the streets. If I'm not mistaken, half of us did not get the so-called streets. That's why they called us back in 2017 to Aso Rock. And we're all given 2 million. Remember, 2 million in 2020 is nothing. And I'm not being greedy or being, selfish. But the money I paid to even get to Aso Rock is more than 2 million.
Wow.
So what are we talking about?
Wow.
So like I said, it's a good gesture, it's a kind gesture. I thank the government for that, but it was nothing.
Because if you say, like, as at that time you guys were meant to be given 2 million, and after how many years after, like 30 something years,
I'm talking about 32 years after,
they should have multiplied it. Like if you had 2 million at that time, you know what you can do with that 2 million.
Remember, 2 million in 85 will have been a lot of money.
By now,
2 million 85, 2 million naira in 85 will have been a lot of money. But 2 million in 2017 is nothing. Like I said, I'm not trying to be unappreciative. I appreciate what they did, and I mean for them to even remember that we are still alive. Thank God for that.
Well, if remembering that you guys are alive is good, but then for someone coming from the way all the way from the United States, you know the person is going to fly,
Exactly.
and then giving the person 2 million, I don't think that's justifiable enough. It's not even, to me, I don't. Well, you want to be appreciative,
Yeah.
but at this point we have to be realistic. So whoever is in charge of doing that,
As a matter of fact,
you know,
the president came out and said 20 million. That's what the president said. But the present minister of sports, 10 minutes after, came out and said the president made mistake. There was 2 million. This wasn't 20 million. And, and people like me from America, I got somebody, Shegun Babatunde Joseph, is in New York, and I got other colleague of mine in Italy. They were so mad with that decision that we find it so hard that how come the president did not get up himself and said it was a mistake? Why did the minister of sports? I mean, that's Nigeria for you. So
my country, Nigeria. I hope that the right person is listening to this.
Oh yeah.
It's a sad story when you have people who have worked tirelessly for that country,
Exactly.
telling stories like this.
Yeah.
He can say this, laugh about it because he's comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
There are some certain people who cannot talk about it like he's doing, and that's why people are scared, you know, to like engage in things like this for Nigeria. You see Nigerians, so you hear from their names that this is a Nigerian playing for other countries, and you begin to wonder what is going on. What is going on? I think that Nigeria, we have to do better for the people in authority, people that have worked for us like they have told. They need to get the rewards of what they have done, and that's why this program is important. You know, if I didn't come to interview him, I wouldn't have known that something like this happened.
Yeah.
And the presidency can do better. I am sure that the president would not have made a mistake in saying 20 million.
No.
Because 2 million to 20 million is a long way, far away from each other. And then you wonder, 2 million, what would 2 million buy? Even if you give 2 million to a 16-year-old in this kind of economy, you will know that he's not going to do much.
Yeah, 2 million naira. And it's a good thing that you brought that up. We still have back home some of the players that played and won the World Cup. And even some other people, players in the Junior Eagles. Now everybody's suffering. You know, and they have to depend on people like us in the diaspora to be able to send them some money and everything. And I'm not trying to mention names, you know. But I mean, these are our colleagues, these are our, you know, friends. So we try to do the best we can for them. You know, things are not going good in that country, and the football administration is failing everybody. So I don't know where we're going with it.
Wow.
Only God can help us.
Wow.
So
You know, people, like, for those that sustain injuries and they are still treating back home, like, how do they survive? If someone like him can talk like this, then what would those people say? I am appealing to the government of Nigeria. We can do better. I appreciate the fact that the president was able to think that, oh, these people, they still had to, you know, they deserve a lot. And for things to just go around the way it went, it's not deserving. I pray that the right person watches this program, because we're going to spread it around so that it gets to the right authority, and the right thing can be done. It's not easy to play. I can't even play for 5 minutes without getting injured or something. And it's difficult these days, because when you talk to young kids who want to play, you better play for the US, because nobody wants
to buttress your point. That's why we have a lot of Nigerians playing for other countries, because they were born there and they have their citizenship, so they play for other countries. And we have to have something like they called after the game money set somewhere, because I can recollect not too long ago, and it was one of the MON was injured or sick or something, There's nobody to come to his aid. We have Tim Mason, nursing injury. Nobody can come to his aid. I mean, so what happened after soccer?
Wow.
What happened after soccer?
I don't think it should be like this. Like, we should be able to tell like good stories. It should be like memorable ones.
Exactly.
So Nigeria can do better. We have great products from that country.
Exactly.
Great products all over the world. And they're scared of attaching themselves to Nigeria all because of stories like this. And that brings me to the next question. I was going to ask, like, for those that played back then, do they have like an association that brings them together so that you guys can meet and talk and discuss, so that, you know, there should be a way forward?
Well, the only thing I can say about that was, in my set, the 85 sets, we have something going on WhatsApp where we all connect to each other and we can talk about each other, family and everyone. But about other soccer greats that have served Nigeria, I don't think they have everything going on. Everybody's worried about who is who and who is going to be who. You know, there's nothing coming to them, and that is so bad. You know, I'm sorry, I may so rest in perfect peace. 2 days ago, I heard about Gani Wakami. That's one of my colleagues' brother. He played soccer too.
Wow.
He's a great player. He played for Julius Berger. He played for Junior Eagles, and he just passed away. You know, it's sad. There's no program in place for him to be able to be, you know, serve as human, as the way he played the game.
Wow.
So that's just a wasted stone.
Yeah.
And that's so sad. For somebody that played for the country and nobody can cater for him.
Wow.
So,
Well, we're calling on the sports minister. They can do better. Like, Nigeria can do better for these people. Like, great sports people who have worked tirelessly for the country. Like, if you work in a company and you retire, they have pensions, they have schemes in place for these people.
In this country, yeah.
In sports in Nigeria, it's totally different. And I know that the association, like the people in authority, they are well traveled. They know what obtains in other parts of the country.
Exactly.
So they should be able to do better. That brings me to the question. Do you have any of your children into sports?
Unfortunately, I got boys. Trust me, I got boys, and they are very. I thought you saw some Jamal. That's the last one. Jamal is 22 years old. When you saw, you see how they don't play soccer. They don't like soccer because I'm too much into soccer. Everything this year from me is soccer. So they were, you know how this country works. They have to rebel against soccer, and I'm so frustrated that come on, man, you guys can play soccer. They are 6 foot and they have the legs. They are so brainy, but they just say, like I say, go back home. Nobody even encourages us. We have to encourage ourselves. But over here, they have people that can encourage them, but children have nowadays, they choose what they like. So, hey.
But do you think that could be from the stories you tell? Like, I haven't played for Nigeria, and you don't have too many, they're good experiences, but some stories are not too good. Could
I never told them a bad story. It was all good story. Because that's what get me where I am right now.
Yeah.
Playing soccer is my ticket for life, and I have passion, deep passion for soccer, and I've always played till I die. Even though what I play right now is like pickup. I'm still playing. So please don't come here. I'm still playing, but I just don't play competitive. I play at my own pace, at my own time. So but I'm still playing. I was the commissioner for NSF USA for 13 good years. All right. So I've been involved in soccer and everything. I have an academy in Florida. It's called AJ. My friend established it, and we run it together, and they are doing good. They're making money. Everything is going fine. So I'm still much in soccer. But my son just said, you know what? You like soccer too much. We ain't going to go through there. So they just they don't want to play soccer. So hey, and you can't force them. That's their choice. So like I said, I thank God for everything. I thank God for my life, and if I have to do it all over again, I will still do the same thing. So thank you, Lord.
Wow, that's good. That's good. Like, I have this question I wanted to ask a long time ago, but thank God there's the opportunity right now. Do people call you to ask if it's your dad that owns the streets, the Fatai Atere Road?
Sometimes a lot of people do that, because they believe I'm too young to have a street. That it is God's doing. So for you that is doubting, that is my street. Thank you.
You just heard from the horse's mouth. That is his street in
That is my
Nigeria.
street.
And it's a major road. It's actually a major road.
Yeah.
Anytime I pass by, I remember him.
Exactly.
And I'm like, wow. That, it's a great achievement when you look at it. It's like a stamp on your name, like when you pass through
We
a
thank
road
God.
like
We
that.
thank God. We thank
So
God.
it's really an opportunity.
God is
Like,
good.
I want to ask, like, has this sport brought any other opportunity from other country? Like, you being in the United States, have you gotten any like endorsements from any company?
Well,
That-
America, like you said, is a lifeline. Nobody cares about who you are, or who you become. Unless you try to, talk about yourself, and how many people want to listen. But back in Nigeria, I have my son is there, and I said I'm going to do an academy. We just talk about it. Since I have one in Florida, so we're going to do one back in Nigeria. We'll give back to the people, because without other people, I'm nobody.
Wow.
They are the one that made me, and we thank God for everything. So I want to give back to people, in my own way, and I hope God will help me to do that.
Definitely, God will help you. You just heard, like, he's thinking about giving back to the society that built him. Because without God and Nigeria, that name, people might probably not know about it. And if you're listening now, you have an endorsement for him because he did a great job.
Yeah.
And if he did say that, you don't know whoever sees or watches, well, people do watch things. You just have to make yourself accessible.
It's still on YouTube. You can Google it.
Yeah.
1985 World Cup, China in 85.
Yes.
Anybody can Google that. But like I said, with time, people tend to not recognize who you are anymore. So, but you cannot erase that name because we made history those years.
Yes.
We are the one that put Nigeria on the world map,
Yes.
and everybody knows that. I remember one of my younger players that I met in Austin last week. He said, bros, if it's not because of you, my father will not let me play soccer. So when you won the World Cup, my father was like, damn, don't you want to be like Fatai Atere?
Wow.
Because I remember that he has signed for Back of the North, 50,000 naira. It is 87. Remember, you know how much that is? 50,000 naira. It might not be anything right now, but that's a huge money those days.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. They give me BMW, they give me a house. I was bubbly. So like I said, whatever you put your mind on, you can achieve.
Oh, so this one that you said you got in 87 was from another
From the
championship.
team I played for. That's Back of the North.
Oh.
I was the first person to play in the North, maybe a Westerner to play in the North. So I was the first person to do that. So I signed a big contract, and after that, the Tottenham Hotspur called me in London. So I have to go to London and play professionally. So playing professionally, that's where I was saying that they declined the clearance.
Wow.
I was supposed to sign 1.5 million just for signing bonus. I was hoping I would buy the whole machine. That was just a joke. So hey, to God be the glory.
So how was growing up like for you? And first of all, where are you from? Like, where is Fatai Atere from?
Okay, all right. My parents are from Awori. We have associated with Ibara in Abeokuta or something like that. So I was born in Mushin. I'm a typical born of Mushin. I'm a Mushin. So like I said, my family we are afraid, we struggling to look. People just don't know from where you come from. I've hawk. You know what I mean? To sell stuff in the streets. Yeah, I've done that. So looking at me doesn't mean those days they used to call me Fulani, blah blah blah. But guess what? To make everything meet, I have hawk. What do you call it? Akamu. What's Akamu?
Okay.
Oh, no, Echo. No, what? No, is it Echo? Echo. My mother was that's a pap or a call seller?
Pap.
Okay, pap. Okay, that's what my mother said those days. You know, my father worked in Ministry of Health, and my mother worked, and I used to go with my mother to go sell stuff like that. And when I do that, I play soccer on the way. I put the pap somewhere, and I start playing soccer. so, and I do this for a while. You want to know the story? My father doesn't know I even know how to play soccer to that level. I played Greater Tomorrow. I played Superstars in Badagry, in Bariga. I played for Shotola Babies. We call it, what's the name of that thing? Yeah, I played around all those felele time. So it was during that time that somebody knows that I can play very well. And they say, you know what? Let me go call Fatai Atere to come and play for you. So when I start playing for them, they were like, oh my God. Those days they will give us 50 kobo. You know, you think you get money. That money is just for you to take bus back home and everything. And my father don't want me. He want me to be home reading my books, beating me and everything. So when I was called to play for the junior games, the under 17, my father never knew what was going on. He was just passing through the street, according to him. Then people were shouting, Fatai Atere, Fatai Atere, Fatai Atere. You know, we have TVs everywhere in this country. Every beer parlor have a TV. So people were shouting, Fatai Atere, Fatai Atere. Then my father stood by, who is this Fatai Atere they are shouting now?
Oh, wow.
This man never knew I'm in China. May God may the soul rest in peace. He never knew I was in China playing for Nigeria. So when he went there and looked and said, Omo Milele you now.
Wow.
And then he go back home. According to his story, it's like, where is your son? Asking my mother. And my mother was like, if he tells you where he was, you will have not let him go anywhere. He's in China or whatever they call the country. Because at that time my mother didn't even know wherever it is that I was. So when I came back home, the same father that was trying for me not to play soccer was wearing his best regalia. Because my father was an allergy. He was wearing his best regalia with that Makawe and all that stuff. Standing with Buhari and Idiamo.
Wow.
The man that thinks he will never be nobody, standing with the head of state of the country.
Wow.
And when I came out of, we were very disciplined. So when I came out of the plane, I had to prostrate, and I was thinking maybe my father will even beat me. Because that's how scared I was of him. You know, nowadays in America, there's respect, there's something they call respect and scare. I was scared. Because if my father has to beat me in front of everybody, with the president, with the head of state and the vice standing there, then he was like, oh, that's my son. Yeah, that's my son. He took off after me. Wow. He played soccer just like I played. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay now. You know, I've heard of that. So I mean, he was so honored that he couldn't even imagine what happened. So I mean, and every father after that, every father in Nigeria want their kid to be like Fatai Atere.
Yes.
You know, because we never been given that opportunity. It's not about book. It's okay to be educated. Don't get me wrong, but sometimes you gotta let your kids let them use their talent to do what is best for them.
Wow.
So I was privileged to do that. So I thank God. And I see people still talk to me about it up to today. That Ego, if it's not because of you, we would have not played soccer. When you won that cup, you made everything possible for everybody. You see, and in my school, I went to Gobi College. I was among the first person to win the first principal cup in 48 years for that school.
You have done a lot for
So
Nigeria.
we thank God.
Like the person that was supposed to record today
Yeah.
actually happened to be a footballer too,
wow.
Kayode Do.
Oh.
And he said you held his hand and he put his hand in the hands of the coach.
Wow.
So he was going to be here, but they called him for a job by 7. He said, I really want to meet him and just prostrate and say thank you. You cannot even remember. They call him Skelechi.
Oh,
He said you held his hand.
Oh,
And you gave, yes, that you helped him become a footballer in Nigeria.
Wow.
So when I said we're coming to record, you said I have to be there. He's been calling me, no, Nancy, I just had to go with you. I just had to go with you. But something happened this
God
evening.
is good.
You know?
God is
So
good.
you have really touched lives. So if you're watching us back home, you heard what he said. It's good to be educated, like I said, but you have to give your children the room to choose what they want to be in life.
Yeah.
Because you never know. You just never know. You know, where God leads us is kind of different. It might be different from where the parents are taught and everything. But if He wants to lead you in a great path, I'm employing the parents, please allow your children to do, you know, if they want to go into sports, encourage them. Children, you know, face your studies and just tell them that, oh, I know what I'm doing. I just love sports.
Yeah.
There are ways you present your stuff so they can understand. But, you know, the parents of those days, really, they can be something.
Oof.
You know, they can be something. So I know they'll be listening, and I have a lot of people who say the
Do you
same.
know how many blalas I overcome before I play soccer? Blala. I'm talking about us whip.
Wow.
That I was beating every day that I go out. And my mother was my very big advocate. My mother would like, make sure you come back before 4 o'clock. Oh. You know your father will be here very soon. Don't let him meet you without you being, don't let him come back home without you being here. So I have to run wherever I am to be home and like act like if I have never been anywhere. You know, but at the end of the day, he was so happy about it. You know, it's like I said, that's God's doing. You know, that's God's doing.
So it shows that you have to be, you know, determined.
Yeah.
It shows a lot of determination on his part, because if he wasn't determined, you know, this might not have been possible.
That was my passion.
Yes.
Passion. I love soccer to death. You know?
So
you can see, you see what I got? I got something here.
he has a lot. We're going to actually
if you look
showcase
around,
that.
if you look around, you know it's all soccer. You know,
Well,
that's
well-
what I do with my basement. Soccer. Everywhere is soccer.
We're going to have to, you know, showcase the trophies, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And you will look at it, and even as I'm not related to him, I'm proud of him, like looking at stuff like this.
Yeah.
In the US, for you to meet somebody like that, you know, it takes a lot. But Nigeria, we kind of don't appreciate what we have.
Yeah.
You know, and that attitude has to change. It has to start from the homes. You have to, you know, if something has to be appreciated, appreciate those people while they are still alive.
Yeah.
Appreciate them while they're living. You don't wait till they are dead before you now say, oh, we're lying in state or something. No. While they're still living, let them know you appreciate them. Nigeria, you have a lot to do. The government of Nigeria, you can do better. You can do better. Because they don't live in the country doesn't mean that they don't have to be appreciated. It's not just the MON alone, giving them, you know, we appreciate it. No doubt about it. But we're telling you that you can do better.
Exactly.
You can do better. You can celebrate them while they're alive.
Exactly.
And this program is to bring to light things like this. And for those that want to become like Fatai Atere, you see, his passion has brought him to where he is. He was consistent about it, determined about it. Some people start something and it's so difficult and they just pull it aside. I want to tell you, there's always light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly. You're right.
So, and the sky is not even the limit. You can only limit yourself. When you fall, pick yourself up again. You can do it. And tap yourself and say, I'm trying. If everybody sees you as not doing anything, you know what you're doing. And that is good enough. That is good enough. So this brings me to the question. Being Fatai Atere, does it cost you extra when you go to some places, like in Nigeria? When people see, oh, you know, there are ways people put stuff.
In Nigeria, you know how it is. It's massive. So you gotta do some money out, And when people recognize you, they appreciate you. Honestly, they do. It's a good thing. Even in America, yes, when people recognize, oh, you are so person, yes, everywhere I go, everybody recognize me. Mostly in Nigerian community, everybody know who I am. And like I said, you just have to comport yourself, be who you are, and just respect everybody else. So I'm a very humble person. I don't go out of my box.
I was going to come to that because I was going to mention that.
I don't like to talk about myself, honestly. But hey, it's a program that I'll have to let people know where I started from and where I am right now. And like I said, everything is brought to the glorification of God. I glorify God for everything. I can't do it without me, but God. So.
Wow. I was going to talk about your humility. Where did you get that from?
When you become famous, you have to humble yourself. And that goes a long way. If everyone recognizes who you are, they will scrutinize you. So whatever you do, whatever you say, they will hold it against you. So you have to watch everything you do when you are a public figure. And that's where comes the humbleness from.
Wow.
So you put yourself down, let people put you up.
Wow. You heard that. You put yourself and then people will lift you up. And God will even lift you up. He respects the humble.
Definitely.
And He honors them.
When you are humble, it goes a long way. People can relate to you. I remember when we were in Austin, and there was a guy that just saw me for the first time, and I don't even know he knows who I am. But the way he was talking, I was responding to him, and he took a picture. So when he sent the picture to me, he said, you are the most humble person I've ever seen, and you are very easy to talk to. That goes to my heart. I was like, wow. I never even know I was doing all that when he sent me that picture and put it on it. Say, you are the most easiest person to talk to, and you humble yourself. And I can't even believe that's you. I said, what? What you see is what you get.
Wow.
So that touched my heart more than anything else.
So that brings me to you are a celebrity. You don't see yourself like that.
No.
But you are, because most people think if you're not an actor, you don't have to be an actor. Sports is entertainment. So that's how I see you. You probably don't see yourself that way. How do you handle women?
Well, that's another topic for the day. I will just say, no comment.
No comment, because
no
I know
comment.
It's a lot, It's a lot when people, this is this person.
No
Everybody
comment.
wants to attach themselves to you.
I mean, everybody loves good things, So what can you say?
So you just be yourself.
Just be yourself.
And you just ride on.
That's right.
I hope you understand when I say you just ride on. I know people watching back home.
I don't know about that. You just ride on.
Well, he said he's not going to comment about it.
No comment.
I'll let it be. For those that are looking up to becoming somebody like Fatai Atere, how should they go about it? Do you think that it's still possible at this time of the day? The way you were able to progress at that time, do you think such is still possible in Nigeria? Let's use that country, Nigeria.
It's possible, and it's even more possible because everybody to his own. So, like I said earlier, you can achieve whatever you put your mind to. You can achieve anything you put your mind to. There's no limit to that. So it's possible. We have better people than Fatai Atere, and we have lesser people than Fatai Atere. So there's always going to be people better than you. So it's possible, very possible. Everybody has different stories, and I believe there are more better stories than my stories. So that's the way I look at things. So, but I would say, whatever you think you want to achieve, if it's school, if it's sports, if it's anything, you put your mind into it, you will surely get it.
Wow, it's been wonderful talking to him. I want to tell you that we'll be back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Hello, Patricia's blog. How may I help you?
Atinuke, her best friend, is sleeping with her husband.
Be careful.
And nobody messes with you.
She wants to destroy my reputation.
I mean, come off it. She did not even mention your name.
That stupid girl had been shot.
I swear, I'm gonna make her look big time. Who did you offend?
Nobody.
I'm gonna let you know who you offended. Now get up!
You seem so nice.
I am a nice person, depending on the business that connects us. I hope you guys have learned one or two things from what he has said so far. He's been able to tell us how he started. He did say that he started from an humble beginning, and look at him now. So whatever you do, remember to always, dedicate yourself to doing it well. I will tell you this. Last week we were meant to do this interview, and I think we were a little late for about 10 minutes. He was gone because time to him is of essence. And then you look at him. If we can coordinate ourselves like that, I want to tell you, nothing can stop you. Nothing. When I was coming today, I told the person that was going to record for me, I said, you have to be on time. If not, you'll be gone. We can't hold him at home, so you better move. You better move. I just kept saying it. We just have to move. I don't want to interview. I was just rushing. Like, I have a second one. I have to be there. And I learned one thing from him when he talked to me about it. I told myself, I said, you know what? I've learned something. I always try to be time conscious. Sometimes it doesn't work, and I'll just be like, I've done my best and everything. And to me, I'm good. But that day I told myself, I said, well, when you have a program like this, you have to learn from what you hear from people. I learned one thing on that day, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to put it to work. And that's why I came, I looked at the time when I got, I said, well, 10 minutes early. That's good. That's how it should be. I was able to learn from him. So on a final note, Thanksgiving is coming. The Christmas season, this is the Yuletide season. What do you have to say to people out there this season? People who want to strive to, attain what they cannot. Did you go about your own like that?
No. But what I would say is, just believe in yourself and do what is necessary. And with God, everything is possible. So, like I said, everybody is different. Our stories are different. And I wish that everything comes together for everybody. And I wish everybody at this junction, happy Thanksgiving. I always do Thanksgiving in my house, where we have families and friends and everything. So I hope everything turns out good for everybody else, and I wish everybody best of luck.
And to the election coming up in Nigeria, what's your take on that?
I'm not a politician, so I will decline that. Okay. I don't do politics. I don't believe in politics. I'm a very straightforward person.
Okay.
So whoever wins. I hope the country gets better. That's all I hope for.
Okay. With the message is, clear. He said he's not a politician, but tomorrow, if you're given a position, would you decline it?
Well, as a politician?
No, like a federal minister or something.
A political appointment.
A political appointment.
I will take that.
Okay.
But if they have to vote for me to get it, they can keep it.
You heard that. So, I'm beginning to see that when you put people who have been into sports, like for the sports ministers, stuff like that, I think they should nominate people like this.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be politicians alone.
No.
People that have been in the field that have worked should be nominated, should be screened for such positions.
And I'm sorry to cut you short. I would like to say this too. We are putting wrong hole into wrong. We are putting wrong peg into wrong holes in Nigeria. There are people that have played the game, not necessarily that they know about the about the administration. Not necessarily that because you're a good player, you'll be a good coach. But we have a lot of people back home that can do the job instead of pulling politicians to do the job of a sports minister or sports NFF. We have a lot of back home people that they have education background. They have read good in America, in everywhere, even back in Nigeria, that we can use as an NFF chairman. Not the politicians. Politicians don't know about the game. All they know is about the money. So that's why we are lacking now in the country when it comes to sports. So I would love them to change that. Leave politicians alone. Put people that knows about the game. People that know about the administration when it comes to sports, and we'll do well. Our soccer, our sports, and whatever is going down right now, is no way. So I will appeal to people back in the country, put the right peg in the right hole, so that things can work fine for everybody.
Wow, you heard that. He said it all. Like, it's pointed out what needs to be done. And I think that if we follow what he has suggested, like the sports ministry and everything will run good.
Yes.
The sportsmen, sportswomen, they'll be happy. Like when you speak to a lot of them, they're not happy about the situation. And it shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
If you're working, you should be compensated the right way. You should be appreciated. It's not about, well, people say it's not about money. Money means a lot to you. It doesn't mean everything. But at least they need some certain things. You guys need to do some certain things to put things in place. Please.
I know you are trying to hand up the
you can go ahead. Yeah.
There's something just came to mind now. When we were in China in '85, we played without Nigeria. The Adidas they gave us 6 uniforms because we have to play 3 preliminaries, quarterfinal, semi-final, final. So they gave us 3 equipments, boots and everything. Do you know Nigeria gave us the reserve 3 and took everything else back to Nigeria? So because they believe we will not qualify to play the rest games. Guess what happened? We qualified. We were the first in that group. Now we have to wash our uniform to play the next game. Then we play the next game and wash the uniform again. Wow. Then we end up, when Saudi Arabia came, they came with 5 luggages, each player. They have to be borrowing us boots, soccer boots, and jerseys to play. So like I said, this has been going on for a long time. This is not the first time. And guess what? When we get to the final, we were wearing Babariga in the court. Wow. I'm talking about Bagbada. Why the other team were wearing Adidas complete? Give it to them by this same Adidas. Guess what? Nigeria doesn't have to pay for it. It was a gift. Then we go into the final. Any of my colleagues can come and reboot this, and they will tell you what I'm saying is true. We have to be singing in the bus. All we are saying, give us allowance. We've not been paid. And we're in the final of the World Cup for the first time in the history of Nigeria. But because of the passion, because of the glory that we want for ourselves and for the country, we went on and played the final. Guess what? The people our own official, I'm talking about the so-called official that was bringing money to us, they did not even witness the first goal because we scored the first goal in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Guess what? After the game, we have to go to France to go and find something to wear before we get to Nigeria. Now I'll tell you another thing. In '87, I was the captain. Same thing happened. Wow. Now unfortunately, they made a mistake. They said Babangida was calling me that I need to speak to Banga on the phone that day. So I pick up the phone, Your Excellency, and he said, Fatai, I understand you guys are in the final now. The whole country is waiting for you guys because we believe in you guys. And I said, I look back jokingly. I said, Your Excellency, they will not pay all our allowance. Everybody knows me. They know I'm like that. Anyway, they know I joke like that. I said, excuse me, sir, they've not paid all our allowance. How are we going to play final with no allowance?
Wow.
And they already sent an empty plane with 313 AFRC in that plane to come and give us money. But when they get there, they never talk about money.
Wow.
So the president, Babangida said, call me Polomo. Polomo was the leader of the delegation. And they talked briefly on the phone, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he was saying. At the end of the day, Polomo said they should give everybody 10,000 Canadian dollars before the game. We lost the game. But if you have lost the game,
You
without being paid,
the money.
would have not get a dime.
Wow.
But thank God I made that joke. I said, we've not been getting, they've not given us allowance. Jokingly. That's how everybody gets 10,000 Canadian dollars. Because that game was in Canada. And we lost to Russia by penalty. So this things have been going on.
So if they had been compensated, maybe that would have gingered them.
Yes.
That would have made them happy.
That
would have made them win the game.
Thank you. Even make it make you as a player to even work hard.
To do more.
You know, but unfortunately we lost the penalty. If we have lost the game just like we did, we would have not get, because they would not say anything about it anymore. And nobody will even talk about it. They were giving 30,000. And like I said, this is not something that has happened now. It's been happening way back. And nobody has even dared to change it. So they need to change that. People go and represent Nigeria and they were not compensated. For what? So why you think they'll be happy to play for the country or run for the country? No. Look at that girl that won 100,000, right?
Yes,
there was nothing in place for her until she won that money. And that money, he won it because it's from the organizer. It's not from Nigeria.
Yeah.
But I don't think, I've never had them Nigerian give, what they've given, I don't know, maybe they've given her something. They've never said anything about her since she won that race.
Wow.
Only God can help us, like I said.
Other countries, they appreciate their sportsmen, their sportswomen. So Nigeria can do better.
Yes.
We can do better.
Yes.
All over the world, the story is changing daily. We hope that our own story will be a good one and we can tell better stories. Not the same thing of corruption and everything. And from what he has said so far, we can still, point out that he is grateful to God. God can do all things, but we need to do our own part as human beings.
Exactly.
Please, let's endeavor to do this. That's the reason why this program is coming up, so that people can learn, people can change. The only constant thing in life is change. And if you're ready to take that change, then a lot of things will work differently.
Exactly.
When you are in a position of power and some things are in your care, it is better to do it the right way. Not just because people will see you do it the right way. What about your integrity? Like, how do you feel as a human being when your name is mentioned and people start to frown? Like, it doesn't speak well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't speak well. It doesn't speak well. We want a better country and we hope that Nigeria will be better. We pray that it will be better. We'll have great administrators, people who know what they're doing. It's great to be abroad, but I always tell people, home is home. Home is home. You can be a dual citizen of another country, but you will always love it when you are home.
Yes.
That's that place.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home.
Yes.
If you're watching, you're looking up to being like him. You have heard it from the horse's mouth, what he went through, how he was able to overcome. He didn't say in any way that he did fraud. He never said that. So that is not the way. Like, he fought wholeheartedly to be who he became. So I am saying it to you. I heard that people go and learn how to be Yahoo, how to do Yahoo these days. They learn it like a trade. They put they are like an apprentice under a particular person.
Yoruba always said,
So, we just have to do the right thing. And I pray that God will help us. It's been nice talking to you. I am opportune. I feel privileged sitting by your side. I used to be an athlete, but when it comes to sport like the soccer and stuff, I don't think I can play. So I appreciate it when I see people who have done it and they were able to do it so well. It's a privilege. I hope that your children see you like this, and once they see you, they can say, "Oh, that's my dad. That's my," it's a privilege. So we're grateful to that.
And I thank you for everything. And guess what? You are my favorite actress.
Wow.
You never know that, right?
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
I remember meeting you somewhere when Said Balogun.
That was 13 years ago.
Was it?
It was 13 years ago. It was 2009.
And I was doing like, oh my God. That's her.
Wow.
We give God glory for everything.
Yes.
And thank you for what you've done. I really appreciate it. Thank you for having me. And with God, everything will be okay.
Thank you for that. So I am glad to have brought this to your viewing pleasure. I want to tell you that you can always subscribe to Regina Olakunle TV. And if you have comments, you have something to say to us in this program, you have a particular person you really want us to feature, you can get in touch with me on Regina Olakunle TV. You can leave a comment, or you send me a mail on reginamay6@gmail.com or reginaait@yahoo.com, or you go to my social media handle. That's Regina Olakunle. That's on Instagram. And I want to tell you that we'll respond to whatever comments you have. I want to say that Thanksgiving is coming. Have a very, very lovely Thanksgiving. Have a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and stay safe. I love you. And from the two of us, we're saying bye-bye.
Bye-bye.